Hello superhero fans, welcome back to Triple I TV. Today we are going to break down Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom trailer with 15 story reveals and the things you missed in the trailer. The first trailer for Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom has been revealed, bringing you plenty of story information and DCEU Easter eggs along with it. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom will be directed by James Wan, returning from the first film. Given Aquaman's $1 billion success, it is not difficult to see why Warner Bros. Placed their trust in James Wan to continue the story of Arthur Curry in DCU. Despite Wan's return, many have wondered how Aquaman 2 will factor into the wider state of DC films given that James Gunn's DCU reboot is imminent. That said, the first trailer for Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom seemed inherently focused on selling the self-contained, standalone story of the sequel to the first movie. As such, here is every story reveal and the detail found in the first trailer for Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. So let's talk about this. The first major story reveal found in Aquaman 2's trailer in the film placement on the DCEU timeline. The film is releasing after 5 years of the first movie, yet Arthur's voiceover in the trailer proves that more time has passed in universe since he became King of Atlantis. Arthur mentions that 4 years ago he was a simple loner who took no responsibility of his heritage before taking Atlantis from his brother Orm, providing that Aquaman 2 takes this amount of time after the first film. Let's talk about the marriage of Aquaman. We know that Aquaman is now married to Mera. Naturally, the character of Arthur has progressed in these unseen 4 years. One way in which this is the case is through his relationship with Amber Heard's Mera, who this time will be a reduced role as part of the Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom's cast of characters in the light of the actress's court involving Johnny Depp. In the time elapsed between Aquaman and the Aquaman 2, Arthur and Mera have been married as indicated by the family shown between two in the first trailer of the sequel. A similarly significant story reveal from the Aquaman 2 trailer also pertains to Arthur and Mera's time together. Alongside getting married, Arthur and Mera also have a child. This will likely provide a lot of stakes in the film now that Arthur has more to protect than just a kingdom, including his wife and newborn child. An interesting element of Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom's trailer in that film will detail more about Atlantis culture and people. The first film was lacking of this aspect considering Arthur had reservations about leading his people, meaning half of the Aquaman story took place on the surface. With Aquaman 2's trailer though, it became clear that Arthur is much more involved with Atlantis after becoming its king, with shots showing it the everyday life of the people of Atlantis while confirming that 500 million of people of all races beneath the sea live under Arthur's rule. Aquaman 2 may see a return to the Atlantis Coliseum. One of the best action sequences of Aquaman was the duel between Orm and Arthur at the end of the film's first act. With Aquaman 2's trailer hinting at a return to the location which they fought, the first took place in a hollowed-out section of the Atlantis that resembled a Coliseum. In the trailer for Aquaman 2, a group of Atlanteans are shown cheering in a similar setting, hinting at another duel taking place in the iconic location of the first film. Let's talk about Black Manta. Black Manta's new costume is shown in the Aquaman 2's trailer. Purely from a visual standpoint, Aquaman 2 highlights the new look of the Black Manta. The first Aquaman featured the villain in a very bulky armor-plated suit, which seems much more simplified in Aquaman 2. The suit now is more akin to Arthur's a simple black suit with a silver, much similar helmet and silver highlights. Black Manta returns to take the revenge on Arthur in Aquaman 2. One element that the first Aquaman set up was the rivalry between Black Manta and Aquaman. Despite being a primary villain to Arthur in the comics, Black Manta was only a secondary antagonist in the first Aquaman of favoring of King Orm being the main villain. However, the feud between the Black Manta and the Aquaman seems to be coming to a head in Aquaman 2, with the former returning even more powerful than before to his exact vengeance on Arthur, his kingdom and his family. Now let's talk about the goals of Black Manta. While there is likely more to it than the Aquaman 2 trailer reveals, hints at Black Manta's overall goals are provided. After shots of his return as the credible threat to Aquaman and Atlantis, more details are revealed about what specifically Black Manta is seeking to achieve. Rather than wishing to rule Atlantis himself, Black Manta's goals are purely revenge-based. The villain wishes to kill everyone Arthur holds dear and burn his kingdom to the ground, as supported by Orm's comment that Manta wishes to end the bloodline of the King Atlan. In the Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom trailer, Black Manta has a voiceover stating that he will target Arthur's family and burn down his kingdom. This is accomplished by a shot of Aquaman running up his father's spear with Thomas Curry's house burning in the background. It seems that Thomas Curry could be a casualty of a Black Manta early in that film, which spurs Arthur into again action. A major story revealed from the Aquaman and the Lost Kingdoms trailer is how Arthur retaliates to Black Manta's attack. Given that the film takes place 4 years after the first, the former king of Atlantis, Orm, seems to have suffered in exile. Despite this, Arthur seeks out Orm's aid against Black Manta, taking the stranded brothers on a seafaring, kingdom-discovering adventure in Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Orm has been imprisoned in Aquaman's Kingdom of the Deserts. After the Aquaman 2 trailer reveal, the Arthur seeks out Orm's help. There are also hints that where he has been imprisoned since being defeated at the end of the first movie. The shots of Arthur finding Orm and a few action sequences involving the two look as though they take place in a desert, sharing striking similarities to the Kingdom of the Deserties from the first Aquaman movie. Given Orm's power over water and his strength that comes from the sea, it would make sense for the Atlanteans to imprison him in the dry, arid wasteland of the Sahara Desert. Aquaman gets a new stealth suit. During these sequences of Arthur recruiting Orm, the Aquaman 2 trailer debuts a new suit for a titular hero. The suit is similar in design to his iconic King of Atlantis costume, yet only completed black. It is likely this suit is used for stealth incursions such as breaking Orm out of the Kingdom of the Deserts. Interestingly, Orm has a similar suit to Arthur's. While not exactly the same, Orm is showing wearing a black one-piece suit with the silver adornments of the Aquaman symbol, striking similarities to the Arthur's new look. Let's talk about a new trident which is introduced in the trailer. Undoubtedly, the biggest story reveal in Aquaman 2 trailer concerned Black Manta, specifically how he now has a power to pose a threat to Arthur and Atlantis. In the trailer, Orm tells Arthur that Manta's new strength comes from a black trident, a weapon that existed during the region of King Atlan. According to Orm, the Black Trident was a curse upon all 7 kingdoms that existed under Atlan's rule. Queen Atlanta that gives more information on the Black Trident, stating that it possesses dark magic. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom will contain sea monsters like the first movie. Despite Black Manta being the primary villain of the Aquaman 2, the trailer for the film makes it clear and a secondary antagonist will be prevalent like this in the predecessor. The main source for this is to be a giant sea monster which are shown at the length in Aquaman 2's trailer. These sea monsters make it clear that the inventiveness, imagination, and the visual splendor of the film when concerning new creatures beneath the sea will not be lost for the second installment. Aquaman 2 reveals much more about the 7 Kingdoms' history. Finally, one of the main compelling aspects of the Aquaman 2's trailer in the history revealed about the 7 Kingdoms. The trailer shows flashbacks to the region of the King Atlan when mentioning Black Manta's trident, meaning more history about how the trident ties into the history of Atlantis and the other underwater kingdoms will be divulged in the film. A shot towards the end of the Aquaman 2's trailer seems to take place during these flashbacks too, with a bigger trench-like creature with green magic being shown. As evident by the first trailer, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom will explore much more concerning the mythology of Arthur Curry's underwater world. So that was all for today. Be sure to subscribe the channel and like the video and share with your friends. Thank you so much.